of no, Ronnie, just to discuss a couple of documentaries that I'd put up. Um, Basically, there was one called what I put up on Facebook, by the way. There, and if anyone wants to know my Facebook on YouTube, it's Nikki Cooper. I've got two pages. Either one of them I do. But yeah, one was called Monopoly, and it's one of the best breakdowns I've ever heard of. Just breaking it down about who is the most powerful in the world. And two names come up that I have seen but never paid no mind to, and it's Vanguard and BlackRock. And they have shares in absolutely everything. And well, when I say it's just mind blowing, the doc. Another one that I put up is called Russiagate, All Roads Lead to London. And I just thought it was going to be a quick piece. It was about them interfering with the Trump campaign. But what was very, very, very interesting is that they named some major players in the British intelligence. And I noticed that there's a guy called Christopher Steele. Now, what are the chances? He's an ex-British intelligence agencies with links to Mossad and Russia, and it's surrounded on this guy called Misford. And I'm not too sure what happened to Mr. Misford, but Mr. Misford was put down as a Russian intelligence agent by the mainstream media. He's nothing he's an English agent. But what interested me was another name come up that I recognised, and that was Hannigan. And I recognised the Hannigan name from the Madeleine McCann. There was a guy called Kevin Hannigan who apparently fleeced the McCanns, and he was a British agent operating out of Washington DC. So that was very, and I'll tell you what, the whole thing was very interesting because it was more based on British intelligence. So there was some big names in now, but that Christopher Steele, that just done it for me. He works for the Joint Intel. Now I didn't even know we had a joint and international intelligence, but yeah. I mean, you know that, but when it's confirmed, it's just really, really, really mad. But another thing I wanted to talk about, I watched something on Channel 4. Was it Channel 4? I think it was 24 Hours in Custody. And I thought, let me see what the mass media are portraying. So they base it around this Operation... fuck it, I can't remember what it was. But go and watch it, it's on 24 Hours. But the paedophile guy is black. Now, it just astounds me that these police officers had been running this operation for 3 years, and the only person that they convicted and prosecuted was a guy called Carlton Grimes, and he was black. Now, 3 years is a long time to be running an operation that only pulls up one black guy. It is, and not only that, they'd arrested this guy 8 times and he'd got 8 not guilties, or it never went to court, it never thingy. So when it's just, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's one less paedophile off the street. Good, well done. But in 3 years, you only found one guy. And he was lacing people's drinks with Rohypnol. He was raping girls from when they was 3, raping boys. Like, I mean, he was scum of the earth. But in my experience, and common sense tells you that that's just on a street level. That was just solely on a street level, and I don't know what the what they were trying to prove with this operation, because it's just ridiculous. It's and yeah, they got a conviction. He got a guilty, but 3 years, one man. And it just annoys me. It really, really, really annoys me, because it's just pushing that out into the mainstream again. And no, it's just really bad. And it pissed me the fuck off, I'm not gonna lie. It's like what the one man in 3 years. Like that's what was you investigating for 3 years? And there was a lot more victims than what you were saying. And these women looked like they was dedicated, but and she did say at the beginning, she said there'd be things that'll stay with her for the rest of her life with this case. And well done. I mean, they caught him and they got a conviction, but one black man, with all the nonsense and the sick shit that's going on in this world, and all you find is a black man in 3 years. That was like, well, what did you spend the rest of the 3 years investigating? It just defies belief, really. And what else was I going to talk about? I was only doing a quick one anyway, but people need to go and watch what I've posted them up on Facebook. They're called Monopoly. And this guy does an amazing job of breaking, and like he's saying, I'm sitting at my computer and in 20 minutes you can work this shit out. You're telling me the intelligence agencies don't know what's going on? I mean, people, this is getting bad. And what's our contribution to it? Oh, we have 24 hours in peace council finding one black man in 3 years as the perpetrator. And it's just wrong. But when I found this Russiagate with love, I just thought it was going to be a little moody. Oh my God, nah. And not going to lie, America, Britain, and Australia, they're all hand in hand. There's no two ways about that. But when I saw that Christopher Steele, I was like, oh, and they was talking about a girl called Claire Smith. But I'm going to watch it again after I come off of it, because I found it really, really, really interesting, and I'm sure that people who are interested in Freemasons, like the intelligence services, GCHQ, will find it really interesting, because this woman covers so much over what the British intelligence were doing with the American intelligence, and that Robert David Steele, I'm telling you now, he was a fucking plant. He was well, because there was something going about that was called the Steele Report, and I'm going to see if I can find out more on that, because that Robert David Steele set up the ITNJ seatings, and the ITNJ seatings, I mean, there's been real victims there. There's no two ways about it, but there's been some fake ones as well, John Wedger included. But I mean, I don't know whether they're going to stop them since he's died, or still since they say he's died. But if Robert David Steele dies, how would anyone ever go about finding out? It's just, and I believe he was a intelligence, and I thought that before I see this guy, this Christopher Steele, who's so high up in the British intelligence. He's really high up, and only someone high up would be able to pull off them ITNJ seatings, wouldn't they? Really, and give him credibility. And what really winds me up is that he's so entrenched with the Pizzagate people, you just would never believe. He's friends with Nora Maccabee, very good friends with Nora Maccabee, and she's the daughter of, hang on, you've got Max Maccabee. Who's the middle one? Right. Max Maccabee was James Alefantis' lawyer. And there's another one. Is it Michael Maccabee? I think it might be. And he was involved in Friends of Haiti, which, I mean, I'm not going to lie. The Haitian children, that what's going on in that Haiti is just absolutely disgusting. So disgusting. But the Laura Silsby affair, and Laura Silsby took the orphans from Friends of Haiti orphanage, which is run by Michael Maccabee. So you've got people like that so entrenched, like, and Robert David Steele was pretending that he was there for Trump, like that. I can't. It's just a joke. It's just a joke, and now he's died, and no one. But his YouTube channel's still going. Yeah, the YouTube channel's still up because his friend said he would want it to carry on, something like that, some bullshit. I looked at it yesterday. I looked at it before I'd even seen this from Russiagate with Love. So you can imagine. I mean, I wouldn't say excited because that's the wrong word, but that's the final nail in the coffin for me. Yeah, that Robert David Steele was a plant. He was the person that pushed John Wedger for being credible. You know, when he's in that ITNJ seating surrounding, made it look like a courtroom, basically. And it does give him an air of credibility, unless you know him. Then you know he's a piece of shit, and he's a fucking lying piece of shit as well. But on the long and short of it, what are these people doing? Now, Robert David Steele absolutely knows what's going on. He even done a seat in the ITNJ himself, and he's speaking about Pizzagate, and he spoke about Pizzagate in such depth. I believed him. But he was making it out like it's only in America. Like, you know, he was saying that Pizzagate showed us that in America we have breeders, women who are just kept to breed. You know, he was saying all the right things, but now I know what I know. You're protecting them. Like, it's just, and when you try and find out, like, because obviously when I first met John, I was like, oh yeah, you were friends with that Robert David Steele, and he's like, yeah, he said to me, are you still alive? So I mean, I really liked him. I thought he was genuine. But as time's gone on, and Brian will tell you, I've thought for a while he ain't genuine. I thought for quite a while he ain't genuine. But seeing that name as somebody who's very high up in our intelligence community, Christopher Steele, no, that's not a coincidence. That is not a coincidence. And this Christopher Steele is so, oh, miss, you're right. And this Christopher Steele is so high up that he done a report called the Steele Report, and I'm not too sure what the Steele Report was on, but he wouldn't be on saying I don't know what it would be on, but it seems to be something to do with the Trump campaign, I think. Like when they tried to get him done with, were saying that he hacked the DNC and all that bullshit. So yeah, our intelligence service were right up with that one. Let me tell you. But this Russiagate with Love, it really did, and it mentioned the FIFA corruption, you know, like really big things that I've covered and didn't even know what I was covering, because it was that Nicole Junkerman. She was the Mossad agent, Israeli born, no, German Israeli born supermodel. She was a supermodel, and then she was on our NHS advisory board, where she was pushed through by Matt Hancock. Yeah, and I covered that last year, you know. I actually covered that last year, but one thing I know is that there's a pattern. Once you start getting into this, the world starts to become very, very, very small. Because there's what one is that in? There's what is it? And it's run by an Epstein. You know when they try and make out that they're lone wolves, Epstein come from nowhere. Fuck off. Come from fucking nowhere. Yeah, that's ridiculous. What, you think they pick people up off the street? No. He comes from a family of scumbags, yeah, and they've all got that, the family trait. So, you know, he ain't nobody. And, you know, it's just like the best we've got to offer is a black man as a perpetrator. Are you kidding me? Like, it's just that for me, it's just insulting us. Yeah, it's just insane. And with all everything that's going on at the moment, people are getting distracted by the they say his name's Ames, but Brian was like, Mr. Ames. I was like, yeah. Now, basically, they're still trying to do more censorship on social media. I noticed that today, and it's like, for fuck's sake, when is this shit gonna stop? Like, when are people gonna wake up? When are they gonna wake up to the BBC? Who, as far as I'm concerned, are you know, like Alan Yentob, like working with Camilla Batman Jelly for how many years? 17, 18 years? And then you had Lawrence Guinness. And that made up Kids Company. Like, what are these? Like, it's like these people, they all stick together. Tom Watkins. Like, he was one of the biggest like names in music. Yeah, but we know he's a child procurer. You know, it's just, and I'm telling you now, Ian Watkins, if people think there's no relation there, then you're mad. You're absolutely mad. Because Ian Watkins, like, his stepfather wasn't his real father. And he chose to keep the name that his mum had before she met the stepfather. That speaks volumes, that does. That really, really, really speaks volumes. But yeah, I mean, I just don't know. You dare. That's right. It's just, but no, I just, you know, it's a joke. I mean, the BBC charge you, because I've never paid a TV licence in my life, and I never fucking will. They can fuck off, all right? But because I've never paid £1 towards my TV licence, they keep sending me these letters to the occupier. And it's like, look, fuck off. But people actually, you know, they take money, £150 a year, off of every household in this. Are you fucking kidding me? To do what? chat shit. Because that, you know, they don't just chat, they make shit up. 1 minute, let me let my dogs out. Sorry about that. But Brian sent me this thing today, and it's Jeremiah Cohen. If you're only on YouTube, and obviously you're not on BitChute, which you're silly, not going to lie, because BitChute is the place to be. It's the only place you're going to get any truth right about now. But every now and then on YouTube, you know, like, obviously, Jack Jeremiah Cohen, he's like us, you know, like, he's set up his channel, taken down, whatever. So I did put up his, this series that he done, and it says, and you want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes. And it's a 5-parter, and I have put it up on Facebook. I don't think I've put it up on my Facebook. I'm going to do that right now. Because, but when I say it's very, very, very good, and yeah, it's right. Just friends timeline. This is what I have to do. I have to go to friends timelines. Yeah, put number 1. Right, but what I'll do is I think I've put the other one. I think I've put all the Monopoly ones on there and that. But I'm telling you now, like, watch them because they are so good. He does an amazing job of breaking shit down. And you come to realise that the most powerful organisations on this planet are Vanguard, BlackRock, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And that's another thing. They make you believe that Bill Gates was this nerd who just pops up and become... and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, Thomas Gates, who was his 7th removed grandfather, so, like, he was his grandfather, 7th removed, he was the one who went over to it was in the Bahamas, and they was on a boat, and it was called the Endurance or the Sea Voyager, something like that, and it sank. But everybody, everyone on board survived, and Thomas Gates went on to become the person who's in charge of the island and all that co. And he was actually responsible for Pocahontas being sent away. And Thomas Gates was knighted by, it would have been Elizabeth I. Coincidentally, Bill Gates received the same knighthood in 2016-17, I think, from our Queen Elizabeth. So anyone who says that Bill Gates was just a nerd who popped up from nowhere, that's a fucking blatant lie. And Epstein, you know, it's yeah, and they're throwing guilt. I don't even know what's happening with that Ghislaine Maxwell with her trial or what's going on there. You don't seem to hear about it too tough now. There's so much more shit going on there. But yeah. But what was I was going on about BBC before I let my... See, every time I think I'd lose track. But I was going on about BBC and Camilla Batman-Jelly and Alan Yentob being partners for, like... It was best part of 17, 18 years. It wasn't a... and they run kids' company together. Now, you know, like, that's going to raise some questions. Oh, yeah, and the other person who was in on the trustees was Lawrence Guinness, who happens to be Rachel Chandler's brother-in-law. And, oh, my God, the Wayfair Gate one that I put up as well. Do you know what? It's good to see that, like, things are up, because people thought that was a hoax, yeah, and it's just mind blowing. It wasn't just the overpriced cabinets. Like, they had pillars. Ellen DeGeneres had her own line of pillars, and they had astrological signs on them, but they didn't have astrological. They didn't call, like, there was a Gemini sign. They didn't call the pillow Gemini. They called it by a fucking missing kid's name. And these people do this in plain sight, because guess who worked for Wayfair? Rachel Chandler. You know, and they've got their own team of people that deal with certain items that are like for quick delivery. And all this is backed up because I put that Wayfair gate one up as well, and it's like, now there is so much proof out there. There is so much proof at what, and it's only the 1%ers. Like, that's what gets me. Like, even people that have, no, Ronald, get down, get off your mum. Sorry. It's just a matter of getting it and putting it together, because this world is really it's disgusting. It's so bad. Like, what they're teaching children, like on that Jeremiah Cohen one, there was that Desmond kid, that little baby boy. Not little baby, but he's 10. And what they're doing to him, it's disgusting. It's like they're turning him into a mascot for gender equality or gender, and it's getting. And I just want to remind people that, like, 40, 50 years ago, it was illegal to be gay. And it gives you an idea of how they can change people's moral perception over time. But they done that when there wasn't no internet. Now it's speeding up. And it's worrying. Like, I don't care who someone's shagging. To be quite honest with you, it doesn't matter to me who you're shagging when you go home and you got closed. You're behind closed doors. I don't care. I don't need it pushed in my face. And it's what is this world? Well, what is this country coming to? Because I'm not bothered about the world at the moment. Although it's bad enough, don't get me wrong. It's like, our country is probably one of the worst. The non-profits, which are just a way for people not to hard. Do you know what? It kind of makes you, like, understand a bit more, because you spend your life, like, when you're doing this, you think to yourself, like, nah. But the world that we're living in is so bad. Artwork, the whole lot, and fake stories, like fake stories, like, you're just covering up for these people, man. But when it comes down to it, they're coming after you. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but they will. They want to eradicate the middle class. So, and it's these people just, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And I put up a little Save the Children thing, and it's only a 2 minute long clip. But you know, one of them clips that don't need no words. Yeah, when I put it up, I put up no words needed. Missy, and and the kids like who got black, it's just, and they are being sold on Wayfair. There's no two ways about it. And Edwin, you know, we've only, because Wayfair come out and said no. Okay, all right. You know, and people can say what they like about QAnoners, yeah, and there are a lot of fuckers in there because obviously that's how. But do you know what? They care, and you know you've got your mad zealot ones, but you got some really good documentaries on some of them QAnon, and I'm not saying that I agree with everything they say. I bought into Q and I was very disappointed. But, I know Trump ain't saving the world right about now, so it's, I don't want to... But the thing is these people have been spot on. And the Q drops, I mean, some of them have been jaw-droppingly like, what the fuck? I mean, would we have known about Rachel Chandler without a Q drop? And it's not like he's picked her out of the ether and said, yeah, this is... She was one of Epstein's like main people, still is, because they're still running their Midland modelling agency. And the Midland modelling, I'll tell you what, the models that she put up as models to watch, I don't know if you can get it still. It was up, but I think it's probably been scrubbed now. But they look like well, not models. Let's put it that way. They just look like beaten. They was scruffy. They was, and it's. But yeah, no, it's just I just think this world's just getting shittier and shittier and shittier and shittier. And I don't know how you go about putting anything right. I don't even think it can. But I am pretty sure that if there is I don't even like saying God because it's not if there's got to be a creator. I believe in that, and there's got to be a higher power. But in this world, I believe that the devil is the god of this world without a shadow of a doubt. It can't. Nah. There's more of the devil's work, and it's not just coming at us quickly. It's steamrolling. Like that little Nas X and his music and his music videos. They are just absolutely. Oh my god. And his trainers that had real blood in them. Like, how is that like possible? Who would wear trainers with real blood? And whose fucking blood was it? They had the blood, and then they had the pentagram at the top. And this new age shit, they're just making all of this like normal. And it's just how much more. Because what bothers me is the child trafficking. It is going on right now, right under your feet. Like and there's this whole underground network going on, and everyone's too busy. Everyone's too. But it just, I just wanted to get that off my chest, really. As you probably see, I'm getting back into the idea. I'm getting back into the swing of doing lives now. But yeah, no, I'm gonna cut off now because I've been on there 34 minutes. But yeah, I just thought welcome to another edition of Nikki's Just Saying. And